I have overcome so much pain, but it never feels like anything.
Hi, it's Lauren. Welcome to another lyric analysis. Today's song is called Nothing. It is the second song in the blue section and the 22nd song overall. I have been avoiding filming this for about a week and a half. It's put me behind on my schedule, probably because it's just so dark and so bleak and hopeless. A lot of my songs are, but this one especially, because it's about the idea of feeling defeated by failure, but being in such a low, dark place that even when I do succeed, I still feel like nothing. So let's get into the lyrics. First line, this is a dark one, beware. I wish I was dead. It's the truth, don't deny how it is. The past 3 years have been a living hell for my mental health, my physical health. You really can't separate the two as much as people would like you to believe. And it's just been hell being alive and being in my body physically and emotionally. And I've had chronic thoughts of suicide constantly. And sometimes these platitudes like, oh, it'll get better, just keep going, never give up. That's great, but like, I can barely get through this moment and I can barely imagine getting through this day. That stuff about how the future will be so great if I just keep going, it can sometimes minimize how I'm feeling right now and how difficult it is and how overwhelming it feels just to stay here for even a few moments longer. Those future tripping things don't work when you're in agony and survival mode. It would be like if someone had like a gunshot wound and you were like, oh, it hurts now, but you'll be so much stronger in the end after it. It's inappropriate at that time. Next line. Try and try, fail again, then succeed, still feel worthless. I thought I was feeling so bad and empty because I was constantly failing at life, I felt, of who I want to be, my goals, my aspirations, all this stuff. And the main example I'll use is my music, because I spent my entire 20s trying to figure out how to get my music produced, because I play a little bit of bare bones piano and I would just play the chords basically and then write the music and lyrics to that. But obviously, like, there are no other instruments and it's not a full song just playing chords on the piano. So it's like, how do I have a full song? And I spent my entire 20s in pursuit of this goal. It was a lot of messy things. I was in this band called Borderline Delusion, and we went to all these different producers, but, producers are expensive. It was hard to finish things, and I have a lot of kind of regret about how so many people put so much time and energy into helping me, but we weren't able to make it happen. People who didn't have to give their time and energy because they believed in me, and I feel like I let them down. So it's like, oh, I feel bad and empty because like I'm not reaching my goals. I feel stuck. So I kept trying and trying to get the creative vision I wanted and failed. And so I'm like, okay, that's why I'm feeling down and low. Once I get that, I'll feel fine. Now I have it with this album. I decided that I wanted to do things completely on my own. So BeatStars has been really great in helping me do that because, I can purchase a track or rights to a track and then write the lyrics and melody to that track. I try to be a producer. I'm not one. I don't enjoy it and I don't have any talent or skill in it. So this works great for me. And obviously I've written what was it, like 45 songs just for this album. And this is the creative vision that I want. These videos are what I want to do. The songs are what I want to do. I have full control. I'm doing it and I still feel empty. And I think because the external things don't make you feel a certain way, these feelings come from the inside. And my brain has been conditioned for so long to feel like a failure that even when I succeed, my brain just can't believe it. I still feel like that failure. It's like this neural pathway has just been trotted over and over and over again. And even when I have evidence around me that things are different, I still feel that emptiness. So of course, life feels worthless. I mean, if you think of life as a game, whether I lose or win the game, I still feel like nothing. Who would want to play that? Next part, there's a reason I avoided this for like a week and a half. This is a lot, but here we go. I have overcome so much pain, but it never feels like anything. I have been through hell and come out on the other side. But my journey has been so minimized and ignored by the people closest around me that it almost feels like it never happened and that I never existed and everything I've overcome doesn't matter because it was never a real problem to overcome. It was just evidence of my weakness. So basically, I've been invalidated so much by the people around me that I've learned to invalidate my own journey. I know that I have overcome a lot and that I'm doing good things and have a purpose, but emotionally, my brain and body have a lot of trouble believing that. All right. Next part. This is the second part of the chorus. It goes, I have become who I want to be, but I have no pride. I still feel like nobody, nothing. I have become who I want to be. I wanted to be a musician with fully produced music that I wrote that has different messages and themes that I explain. Because my big thing with this was I would listen to all of these songs growing up and I would feel so connected to them, but I didn't understand why the artist wrote it and where they were coming from. And that always frustrated me. So I thought I would create that, and I have. That's who I want to be, and I'm living it literally right in this exact moment as I'm filming this. Which is ironic because I avoided filming this for so long. I avoided being who I wanted to be. Why? I have to force myself to live my dreams. Isn't that weird? Who else? Who else do I want to be? I'm really into fashion. You should check out my Pinterest board. Little plug for myself. I spent my whole 20s thrifting this amazing closet. And so I get to create outfits and create art every day. Love that. I'm trying to see how far I can get in figure skating. I created this own really cool coding system to learn because with my brain processing, I have trouble learning. So I made this color coding system. And then the figure skating perfectly combines my gymnastics background, my dance background, and to see how far I can get in a sport without this undertone of abuse, whether it be physically or mentally or emotionally. It has the athleticism, it has the art, it has the music, the creativity. It combines all of my life experiences into this perfect expression of the person that I want to be. So I have become who I want to be. I'm right at the precipice of everything I've ever wanted for myself. But I have no pride. I still feel like nobody, nothing. It's not about what you have externally or what you do. It's about how you feel about yourself. For so long, I lived in this state of wanting, of reaching, of striving, of going, never letting myself feel comfortable or feel okay, because I thought that if I did that, I'd for sure fail and never be happy. And now once I've reached a lot of them, I'm having trouble settling into any kind of satisfaction because my brain is literally wired to feel dissatisfied with everything because I thought that would make me happy. But it's actually the one thing that's keeping me from never being happy. Ironically, right? Emotions are not always rational. It's weird. So then it's like, what will it take? How much more can I do? But it's not about what I do. It's about what I believe about myself. I died long ago. It's the truth. I don't matter anymore. Every time I've tried to be normal and suppress who I am, I've lost a part of myself that's never come back. And once you do that for a lifetime, you have almost nothing left. And so at what point do you have so much just so lost that you're gone? And I'm getting it back. I am, truly. But there's so much that's been lost. So much. And I feel it, and I feel the loss. Just my life force, this feeling of vitality, this feeling of harmony within myself and my relationships and my external world, replaced by a lot of just confusion and disorientation and emptiness. All right, Lauren, just feel your emotions for like 10 more minutes, and then you can check out. Maybe later I'll be able to handle more, but I'm already pretty much at capacity. This is really overwhelming, but let's try to finish. It's the truth. I don't matter anymore. It's the truth because it's how I feel, and I am sick of people minimizing my pain to make themselves more comfortable. I'll give you a specific example because I always like hearing that, because sometimes when I'm too like vague and mental and in my head, it's like, what are you talking about? I was in a psychiatric ward and I had been suffering for hours and hours, no help, just trying to suppress it, them ignoring it. I finally just like punched the wall and started screaming, so they put me in the isolation room. It was kind of like a disciplinarian thing, like, I don't know what's going on with you, but basically get it together. And I remember she gave me a coloring book, and I'm like, are you serious? Are you freaking serious? Like, that would be like someone with like a gunshot wound and they're like, oh, you're in pain? Get it together. Here, color. And I was in such bad shape, and they were getting me some medication, but the meds like don't really do anything to me. I don't know what it is about my body chemistry, but you know, like those shots you see in movies where it's like they give it to you and they just like pass out? The passing out isn't realistic, but they do give people shots to calm down that work faster than the pills when people are really out of control. So they weren't even giving me a shot at that point. My point is, they can give me like 2 of those things and it does pretty much almost nothing. And that's like the strongest thing they have. And I remember one of the nurses finally turned around and was like, yeah, it's actually hard to watch. About 5 or 10 seconds later, they turned around and ignored me in my darkest hour. You don't know. You don't know. From experiences like that, I really internalized that I don't matter. They don't care about me. Why should I care about myself? Next part. This is why I avoided this for a week and a half. This morning I woke up I'm like, I can't do this. But here we are, we're doing it. I'm sweating, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not the most comfortable with emotions, even though I've dedicated like a whole entire project to them. There's a reason I have. Next part. Try and try, lose again, then I win, but can't enjoy it. So it's basically the same thing I was saying in the previous verse. A couple of the words are changed, but essentially the same. You know, I keep trying and failing, but then when I do have those little moments of success, I can't enjoy them. Because how can I enjoy personal moments of success when I don't matter? Next part's the same, the first part of the chorus. It goes, I have overcome so much pain, but it never feels like anything. What have I overcome? I mean, for example, like obsessive compulsive disorder. I still have it a little bit, but it was probably like 8 to 12 hours a day. And I had a therapist who said it was the worst case she had ever seen. And, you know, if I touched something, didn't wash my hands well enough, I was afraid I would essentially like accidentally kill my family because I wasn't careful enough. So the stakes were high. And I've got it down to where it's manageable after 15 years. I have overcome an eating disorder. I have been to 2 treatment programs, and now I eat when I'm hungry. I stop when I'm full. And eating isn't a traumatic thing. I understand why people behave in some ways, and I've learned to make boundaries. And these are amazing, amazing things I've done, and yet it doesn't feel like I've done enough. And then, same chorus, but I have become who I want to be. But I have no pride, I still feel like nobody, nothing. I'm so used to not feeling like enough and not being proud of myself. I saw those emotions as indulgences that would hold me back if I was proud of myself, because if I was proud, like, why would I keep going? My whole life has been fueled by like pain and suffering, and any kind of like relief or satisfaction as laziness. So I've trained my brain to like never be satisfied. But then when you get the goal, the training's still there, and you come up with another reason why you're not enough. Or I come up with another reason why I'm not enough. But I suspect that if you are listening to this, you can relate in some way. So I have become who I want to be, but I have no pride. I still feel like nobody, nothing. It's not about doing more. It's not about making more money or having more followers or doing this next self-improvement task. It's not about any of that. It's about rewiring my brain to make life an experience worth having. And that is possible. I just wired my brain wrong. which is okay. I just have to now retrain it. There's a sweet spot of comfort and discomfort. I think they call it flow state, where you're growing and learning and changing and pushing yourself, but the experience is an adventure worth having. Let's all work together to find that sweet spot, to retrain our brains to make the journey of life an adventure so beautiful and so epic that we wake up every day ready to face the chaos of the day as an exciting challenge and adventure through love of it all. Thanks so much for watching. This was super hard for me, but I'm training myself to be able to tolerate feeling emotions more. And I just did that. And actually feeling them is actually so much better than the effort it takes to avoid them. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you the best. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
I have become who I want to be, but I have no pride. I still feel like nobody, nothing.